Okay, safety boots are donned, and while we're fulfilling our contractual obligations to the nanny state, we'll give our safety glasses a clean here. We'll have a bit of a tidy up in the wood stove, light a fire, have a little bit of tidy up on the workbench and crack on with a project that I've been working on, and have a little bit of a chat at the same time about all sorts of different things that have been floating around my head. So if you want a bit of a constructive chat, watch a bit of fucking about in a workshop and a little bit of pyromaniac action on the side, then you come to the right place. So stick around and I'll show you the workshop flow. So on these cold winter evenings, when there's not much to be going on outside, I assure you there is plenty of work to do outside. In terms of the shop alone, there's plenty of things that could be done, 101 things that could be done to make this space better. But it's just not the daylight hours, and it doesn't really fit into my work schedule at the moment, doing jobs outside the building and outside on other people's properties and projects that friends have got going. So I always like to come in here on a winter evening, and I start out with fire because it's cold as a horse heart, and once we've got the fire going, it gives me something to maintain over the evening and a central point. And also, the fire's almost like base, it's like reset. Say you're pondering over an issue, you need a bit of brain power. It's always good to come and sit by the fire, stare into it, caveman TV style, and allow your thoughts to wander. So we'll basically, because I'm going away in a couple of weeks, I'm trying to burn through all of this wood. We'll probably get through a good chunk of it this evening as I waffle to the camera, but we'll get some chopped up and split down, and we'll build a base for the fire, and we'll take it from there. And then the way I like to light fire is just pick a few scraps up from splitting, get them thrown in the middle, one nice little thin piece at least, and then because this is pine, it's pretty resinous, smells glorious, so that got a nice straight grain and burns nice and easy. You can see that fire's gonna last no problem just from one match and lighting one piece of wood. The resin does the rest of the work. So yeah, we'll get to work now. We're sorted. Always stow those knives, because yeah, that's a mistake you only need to make once. When you're tidying up, like scissors open again, watch out for saw blades. You know, just all the nonsensical stuff you need to pay attention to. Because it's idiots like yourself that gets idiots like yourself hurt for idiotic reasons. Just while I have the opportunity to show you outside that gorgeous moon there. Come on, focus, you fucker. Focus. So something I've done for a long time, you can see I've got the engines stripped down a bit more here, but something I've done for a long time is worked on projects just sort of as a hobby. I started doing it when I was quite young, really. Like, I think the first thing I remember doing was turning a Kepler kids go-kart, one of the ones you sit on and pedal, and I tried to put a Briggs and Stratton engine on the go-kart, but I got to the point where I had to figure out some sort of drive mechanism where you converted the horizontal wheel and axle setup to like a vertical power output shaft on the engine. So that's where I came unstuck at like the ripe old age of 7 years old, or however old I wasn't that old. And then we ended up with, you know, like a new lawnmower and all that sort of stuff. Bought a first quad bike, started tinkering with that, and then took it from there. Like, it just scaled up and up as I got older. And then working on the farm when I was like 15 for a couple of summers, I mean, that really added to my knowledge of mechanics, and especially bigger stuff, and then, you know, owning motorbikes and all that sort of stuff. So that's a sort of hobby that I've just always had. Now, you can make money from this you know, from doing this, from getting projects and buying them in a state that need repair and then repairing them and bringing them back to the former glory. Sometimes you get good ones, sometimes you get bad ones. Now this is unfortunately one of the duds. It's a racing go-kart, a kids cadet kart, but I didn't really realise at the time on the really short test run that I gave it that the engine's basically a dog. You can see here, upon further inspection of the piston, knackered on the top. Rings are just totally stuck in there. And then you can see also here, this side in fact, there's an idiot mark from myself breaking the piston. So yeah, that piston's never gonna see the light of day again. So put it straight in the fuck it bucket. Another thing is this clutch mechanism, actually not so bad as it turns out. It's got a brand new sprocket and chain on the cart, so that's something going for it. I'm hoping with this new piston here that will run nicer. The crank bearings seem alright. I'm going to put a new sleeve on this, and you can see we've got the Hillbilly degreaser, which is petrol, but that's dirty because I've cleaned a brush in it. I think this one. But yeah, like, that's something that I've always done, worked on projects, and a lot of people obviously would like to get into that, I think, because these sort of videos get decent views online. Not that that's why I do it, but I do notice that a lot of people talk about wanting to tinker a bit more and make a bit of money from doing up projects, and it's good to watch on YouTube. It makes for good watching when someone takes something that's knackered and makes it quite nice and restores it back to its former glory, especially when they time-lapse it over the entire period it took them. It's really good to watch a 15-minute video of a piece of junk come back to a usable machine. So yeah, I'm going to get back to tinkering on this engine a little bit more, because I'm still in the caveman phase where I haven't quite figured out how to put the camera up and record over my shoulder. But that's definitely something that I'll consider whenever I come home from mining in Australia and I'm dicking about in the shop like I am tonight. So I'm going to tinker a bit more, and then we'll catch up, and perhaps I'll show you the finished project. Thanks for watching.